Well, guys and gals, we have a few things we need to talk about. First of all, how's your guys' day going? How's things going on around the old Lifters Pass, the old Miles Bauer subscribers point of view? I mean, today for me has been, kind of Monday morning, not blues, but just a little bit of struggle with getting started. But let's talk about the more important stuff. First of all, it stinks in this bathroom. Oh my lord. Someone dropped just the most devious turd ever, or just something. I can barely breathe in here, so it is going to be hard to get through these points. Second of all, we're starting our new lifts today. Today officially marks when we're going to start the new routine going forward into March. I think today is March 3rd or whatever. 2nd? 3rd? Pretty sure it's 3rd. Going in today with chest day, we're going to have a much more tightly wound focus. We're going to be very crucially going slow on movements, really prioritizing that stretch, prioritizing normal rest periods so we move through the workout more efficiently. It's a night workout. I didn't have time to go this morning because of different classwork and stuff. It's the final week before I have, kind of different finals and different stuff going on. So picking up the pace a little bit. And last of all, I am suffering from addiction. And addiction is not something to joke about, but clearly I'm going to anyways, because the addiction I'm talking about is food. Nestle's chocolate chips. You guys thought that the leg day where I had my chocolate chip oatmeal afterwards, you thought that was fun? That was a cool video to watch? That it was nice to see a recipe? No, that was just the start of a deeper hold on me. You guys don't understand. I've gone through like almost 3-4 bags of chocolate chips in like the last 4 to 5 weeks. I mean, if we're talking about anabolic and different stuff, the cheat meals that someone has, the cheat snacks, chocolate chips are just my weakness. I mean, it honestly probably would be better for me to just have a bar, like a straight up chocolate bar every 2 weeks. But in reality, what I've actually transitioned to is I've made it dark chocolate chips. So now I have a thing of like dark chocolate, because dark chocolate has a few small antioxidants in it, but it is still an unhealthy food. It is not like I'm doing myself any favors with the chocolate chips. And just when I get that sweet tooth, it hits like no other. I've been doing such a great job of holding back on how many sweets I'm eating, but it's hard, guys. Well, I'm out here in the trenches. When I see that bag of chocolate chips near my bed, I'm like, oh, it is over. Yeah. I guess that's all the points I had to make today. Last point I guess I'll just bring up is check out the sick dinosaur socks. I'll kick off my shoes. Oh, no shoes in the stinky bathroom. That's kind of weird, but like, look at the dino socks. Look, they even got like chomps at the end. Okay, don't put me on Wiki Feet. Kicking us off for today with a new increased focus, not really going through the motions, with a positive mindset also is helping me go into this. We got overhead tricep extensions, 47.5 pounds, and we're going for 12 slow and totally in control reps. Right. I like the isolation on that. Without much of a huge warm-up, I feel like the focus is really, really great today. All right. 12 more complete in control reps. Really. Oh, I forgot to start my workout on my watch. Really gonna tone those triceps when we're focusing on them, and then that'll help us transition into tricep dips that way. Come on, 2 more. Man. Flaring the elbows when I hit the very peak bottom of that movement was a lot of strain. Okay, the fans are really kicking on up near the top, so I might have a little bit of audio troubles, but that's not going to hold me back from this last set. One more. Okay. Ooh. When you're lifting with intention, that definitely makes it a lot better. I really want to carry that forward to the rest of the workout. So the way bench is actually going to be split up is a lot different than I was doing it previously. Previously, I only hit flat bench once per week, but now I'm wanting to hit it twice per week to grow my chest. And we're doing it in a relatively newer fashion for me, I guess. It's focusing on pause reps, which I did last time I worked out with bench, and I was really a big fan of it. So I'm just continuing pause reps on my actual chest days. I'm calling it like mass days versus rep days. Today, my normal chest days are actually going to be rep focus days. So we're focusing on 8 pause reps, 4 sets of it. And right now we got 145 loaded on the bar, which I'm wanting to do 145 pretty consistently. So let's see how that looks. All right, the bottom up is a very potent way of doing that. The pause definitely instills a little bit of a fear in how deep you're pausing, but I definitely feel like that's growing and isolating my chest a lot more than I thought it would. Okay, going into this, I mean, most of my techniques are learned from, well, forgive me, they're learned from this one specific YouTuber who was like growing my bench. He was some Asian guy. He had big glasses. Hopefully editor me will remember to put this in, but if not, throw me a comment that's like, oh, what guy were you talking about? But he had a specific video where he was growing his chest a lot, and he talked about the importance of pause reps and stuff. So a lot of this is inspired from that guy's experience in growing his bench, because he was at a pretty similar weight to what I am, maybe a little bit heavier, maybe a little bit lighter, but physique looked really good. Benching skill looked really good. So my setup and a lot of things that I like am wanting to teach myself come from that. Give myself a little bit of breath, a little bit of rest, and then I want to grind out those 2 more sets. I'm trying to make sure I don't get injured without a spotter. Okay. Managed weight. Sometimes you need to take a quick small break and push off from that, but that's good progress. Okay. Third set is where I really have to dig deep because now the fatigue kind of sets in. I mean, this is our first chest movement, so it's not totally unmanageable fatigue, but it's the kind of fatigue where like you have to really gauge stuff. You have to be able to know your limits and when to put the weight down so you don't fail, you know. It's not a complete and utter waste of your time, because if you're failing if you don't have a spotter, you're going too heavy, just plain and simple. Quick sit down, quick breath catch. Okay, I feel like that is complete and utter great third set. I mean, it knocks the breath out of me, it knocks the words out of me. That's how I know that's good progress. You guys may have noticed, like, me doing this one little thing with my hands before I start, like, benching, which is where I, like, put them out in front of here and kind of, like, breathe out a little bit, breathe in a little bit, kind of get breath into my system. And I don't really know why I do it. It's the same reason, like, before I bench, how I always twist out. And you can hear, like, all the pops in my back as I'm getting all twisted out. And I do this little thing where I push out all the way, push my back out like that. And for me with benching, that's just tradition. That is, like, that little, I call them kind of like weightlifting triggers. That little trigger, the twist, and then bend over, and then sit back on the bar. That's just like a tradition for me. With benching, sometimes I don't do it, but like the majority of the time you'll see me doing it, just because, I don't know, it helps me mentally focus into the lift. And that's why I call it like a weightlifting trigger, because the same reason why I put my hands out like that, it's a trigger for me to get my scapular, like, I guess what is that called? Scapular, like, resistance? I think that's what it's called. Where, you know, you get your back kind of prepared. Because I do the same trigger right before I do pull-ups. You'll see me, like, push my hands out and set my breath. And then once I go up for pull-ups, that's all scapular resistance where you're just pulling back against your back. And for weightlifting, I do it to get, you do that to get your scapular resistance, and then you watch me shift my shoulder blades and stuff down. So it's primarily the emphasis is focused on setting my core and setting my chest for the workout. So let's just imagine I have both of those triggers at the same time. I just trigger my mental focus and bench, and then you can watch as I set my scapular trigger. It's setting these ideas for my muscles. So when I do these things, my muscles know, okay, he's about to do this, and it becomes less of something I have to focus on and more of a given. My muscles just build that identity in what the trigger is. Probably could have hit one more, but I want one more breath and really to focus on the slow decline on this one. I really want a slow last rep. Okay. Chest resistance, pure focus. It is all looking good on that. 145 for 8. Maybe a bit prolonged, but we got what we wanted out of it. Okay. 75 for 10 is all about, it's all about like pushing out as much output as I can, but I'm also trying to hone my focus. So I've managed 75 for 10 for a little bit now, but I've had to drop it sometimes. I've had to modify it sometimes, and I'm not looking to modify today. I'm looking to really stretch out the traps as much as possible, kind of pull them back a little bit, but always pull them up, always like just focusing on that stretch. I mean, if you look at pictures of how I looked before I did huge trap exercises, it is a world of difference. It almost looks like I just grow it back in between the time I started training traps and in between the times I didn't. I mean, I'll have to do a video eventually over how I exploded different parts of my physique, but this isn't a physique-focused video. This is trying to isolate the best workout possible that we can for chest with the new plan. So if we continue on like that, things will be smooth sailing. So let's get it going. Much more slowed, much more technique than I usually apply, so let's keep that up 2 more sets. You know, okay, redo that. You know, I feel like it's kind of weird from a traditional lifting sense to imagine traps as like kind of part of the chest and tricep, say, because traps are part of your back. They're back here. If you're wearing a backpack, it's where your straps sit. It's right on those traps coming over in between your shoulders and stuff. So why do I do traps on chest and triceps, say? I don't know. It's just kind of how I started out doing it, and I kind of idealized, you know, if we're looking at it from a whole body perspective, you just cut off this half. It's up there. And, you know, if I cut off right where the bicep line is, there's your shoulder, there's your chest, and your tricep is down here. And if you just kind of like slice off that bicep line, well, then it just makes like kind of this whole upper body. I don't know. It's totally like gym bro ideation of building a plan, but realistically, I just didn't have enough space in my back and biceps plan. So traps make the cut here, and they will continue to make the cut here until I feel like changing. Ooh, a lot of strain on that one. We're gonna have to have a decent rest period between that, because that was definitely killing me. Okay, last set. We're harkening back to the idea of training grip, really getting our grip lined up prior to when we're lifting up these weights, and that's been a big concern of mine in the past, making sure that I'm not dropping the weight, making sure I have a good handle of it in my hand before I really isolate those traps, because it's not like I have lifting straps on this. You don't want it to slip by your hands and drop on the ground. It's not ideal, and that's not what we want. So we want to very much so wrap our thumbs around and just pull straight up. All right, that's definitely the peak of what we can get trap stimulation wise. So let's move on to our next thing. Try to let that part of the fatigue and lactic acid subside. Okay, a bit of a weight decrease actually, which is not really what you would expect when it comes to incline dumbbell press, which is all about isolating the most bang for your buck when it comes to pushing. But what I'm actually focused on utilizing the most of with 50s is doing it for 3 sets now. Normally we do it for 2 sets, so why not increase our output a little bit, which is what I'm going to attempt to do here. Just 50 for 12, and really focusing on the clarity of my reps to work on that upper chest. So let's get that moving. Okay, moving fairly solidly, fairly effectively. Just wanting to replicate that as much as possible for the next 2 sets. So won't be much talking. We'll be mostly moving and focusing on my breath. Okay, changing my grip, really focusing on my breathing rather than talking pre-lift. definitely added a little bit of flavor, a little bit of sauce to pump out those reps more effectively. You know what would hit harder than like anything in the world right now is like I hit this whole workout, I do it really effectively, really good, and then I just have like a giant post-workout bowl of oatmeal and tune on some Avatar: The Last Airbender. Bro, classic episodes of that. I don't know if that's still on Netflix or not, but oh my lord, that would hit so unbelievably hard. These are the type of lifter, maybe brain rot moments that I feel sometimes. But I mean, maybe that's not brain rot. Maybe that's just a good vibe. But maybe I'm biased. I feel like kids' cartoons are just class, just straight up class in every scenario. But not everybody feels the same way. Ooh, a lot of push. A lot of push, but I mean, all things considered, really great set of that. I think I'm going to transition to dips next, and then we'll work on cable crossover. Now, I wasn't sure if they were going to have it, but lo and behold, guys. Lo and behold. They definitely... Hold on, let me adjust this. Let me adjust this real quick. Okay, lo and behold, they have it. The weighted vest. And you cannot tell me that this doesn't look not tough at all. There's nothing tough about this, but it's functional. It looks like I'm about to go fishing or something, but in reality, we're just trying to go heavier with these. So, not sure how many pounds this is, but no matter. No matter how many pounds it is, I'm just here for the lift more than anything. Everything else is secondary to getting that good pump. Yeah, two more. Okay. Definitely can't get that last one. We are stuck in 9 for the weighted vest, but progress is progress. Okay. Got a little bit of water, and so now we'll go ahead and jump into the second set. Triceps are definitely feeling it from the isolation work earlier, so I mean, now the output is just going to be very greatly about pushing out as much explosiveness as humanly possible. So just throw out those arms and get as deep as we can. Okay, 5 reps. Come on, 4 more. Jesus Christ. Okay, one more. What was that, 6? Try to get this 7th one. All right. 7 reps is where we're at. So we got 9 and 7. No telling what the next rep is going to look like. Okay, I kind of feel like the camera's rocking because of like some of the fan winds that are actually kicked up here, but hopefully it'll stay as static as humanly possible. So Now I don't really know how many reps we're going to get. It went from nine down to 7, so what comes next? Do we know, guys? Do we know what's moving on? Let's say 5 or 6. I mean, we went down 2 the last time. Keeping 5 at least minimum is where we want. I think we can probably grind out 6 if we just go as hard as humanly possible. So let's try it. Let's see where we land up. Where we land at. Where we end up. 2 different words. Gosh, English is hard. Six. Okay. Can we get 2 more? Can we get 2 more? Can we get 3 more? Okay, that is definitely not happening. Jesus. Almost doubled out on that one. Okay, what was that, 6 or 7? I'll go back in the footage and look, but definitely a failure. That's what I'll say. Well, last but not least, to finish everything up, we got cable crossover, which 40 pounds for 10 is kind of a recent development, so I'm wanting to make sure that, like, I'm not pulling my way through this. I'm not just ego lifting my way through this. I want to make sure I cross my arms all the way, really focus on that lower chest strain, because even though I just did tricep dips, you know, cable crossovers, it kind of hits a lot of different parts of your chest, even though I'm primarily trying to cross my wrists together and hit that lower chest. So it's different in the aspect that tricep dips are also a tricep. You know, it's in the name, tricep dips, that it's a tricep focused exercise. So even though it might be a little pre-fatigued, I'm wanting to control as much as possible for 10 reps. So let's get this. Okay, 4 more reps, 4 more reps. Two more. Fatigue's catching up to me. Okay. Might be a little bit more weight than I can handle to get complete control, so I think I'll probably tone it down to 35 reps just to try and get that complete control for the next 2 sets, just to be sure. Okay, toning down the weight, dropping it down to 35, just, you know, a light little 5-pound increase, because today's all about that stretch. Today's not about like maximum capacity with anything. It's all about just isolating as best as humanly possible. So that's what I'm trying to do here, going ahead and hitting it for 10 reps, just basically the same as before, but I want more control. I want more of a stable core with this and just crossing everything as much as possible. Two more reps. Okay. Lots of dynamic pulling with that one. I feel like I have a lot to master when it comes to building my mind-muscle connection with cable crossovers, but I feel like that was a lot better of a set than the first one was. Let's isolate the rest of that chest now. Focus on that 35, crossing over for as much as possible. I was really happy with, you know, the output that I have going with the cable crossover, and so last set I just want to kind of give everything I have into it. Try not to take breaks if I don't have to. Really just try to put it all in one set, because that's all I have left, aside from some of the work I'll do in my dorm, ab roller, different quad work, but that's kind of stuff I'm going to be incorporating every day now. It's just always doing my ab roller, always doing other stuff, just keeping up the maintenance. I don't really know if I need to stretch a lot, but I do know that I need to do this, so Let's keep the focus, singular mindset, not focus on what's next. Okay, I wasn't happy with the quality, so we're making this last set 12. Two more. Okay, that's true failure right there. That is what you want to see from chest workout. Let's cut it to a car talk. I don't know if you guys have felt it before. The looming like feeling of satisfaction when you're kind of just walking around kind of late at night. There's a little bit of a chill in the air. I don't know. There's something really potent about that feeling. There's something really human about that sensation. I felt it a lot of times. I felt it when I'm just casually walking at night, talking with friends, old memories of walking with friends at night, old memories of post-soccer practice, riding bikes back home from soccer practice, just feeling the cold, sometimes even raining, just laughing as the rain hits us. Probably rusts up our bikes a little bit, but we're still just enjoying it big time. I don't know. I don't know what the right word for that feeling is, but it's the feeling where you just feel that cardio rush. You just feel that sense of like small fatigue, but you feel the satisfaction. It's not like fear of being in the dark. It's not, complete exhaustion trudging through anything. It's happiness. It's truly a feeling of just kind of small bliss, small muted bliss. I don't know. It's a really cool feeling. And it's kind of what I'm feeling tonight post-lift because I'm happy. I'm happy with the progress I made today, and I'm happy with how I feel like I changed my plan because removing the ego feels scary. Removing a goal of, something that would be really awesome, would really make for a great YouTube video. It's like, I'm 157-pound body weight. I made it to 225. I made it to 405. No, scrap all that stuff. I'm not here for the glory. I'm not here for the noise because I'm actively trying to turn down that noise in my life. I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to live simply. I'm trying to do things the right way because it's not ironic that when you do things the right way, good things come to you. That's just karma. I don't know if you guys believe in karma. I don't know what sect of religion karma is from, but just the idea of you do good things, and then when you push that good result, you're pushing more good results to come to you, like through your hard work. I'm grinding in the gym all the time. I'm grinding and making YouTube videos and writing scripts and working on other side project videos in the background and making all these vlogs. I'm grinding throughout college. I'm grinding and, trying to build up wealth. Like how in a freaking housing crisis am I going to be able to graduate, get a job, get a great house, all these different things? I talked about it in a different video. I was really stressed out about all this stuff, but I needed just these days of planning, these days of stepping back, these days of removing the ego about it, removing the expectation, removing, what I think I deserve, and replacing it with a hearty, let's just go into this. Let's just remove anything that, provokes a feeling of I need this, or I'm going to be disappointed if I don't get this. Why do we have all these checkpoints? Why don't we just throw the checkpoints to the wind, move forward, and then every now and then just like look back and be like, oh, hey, those are all those, what's behind me? It's all those freaking checkpoints. It's all those amazing goals that I said I was going to accomplish, but I'm not documenting or boasting about it. I'm not posting on social media, I did this and this and this and this. I'm documenting my progress, obviously, which is inherently an argument some people might be like, well, you're boasting doing that, aren't you? you're bragging, you're showing off all these different things. That's not true progress. You're not, working in silence. But to me, I would refute that argument by saying that's not the point of what I'm standing for. That's not the point of what this channel is standing for. This channel is standing to showcase my mistakes. It's standing to showcase my progress in a way where I'm showing you guys those bad days. I'm not boasting about my progress. I'm making videos that are like, hey, I screwed up. Hey, I've been ego lifting lately. Hey, my progress has dropped off. This is where I'm going to take a step back and showing you that maybe sometimes taking the step back is honestly the best thing for you. So that's just kind of what I'm feeling tonight. I'm going to get some food in my system, just some small healthy carbs, a little bit of oatmeal, get a little bit of what I'm working on to progress myself just daily, working on some ab roller and stuff like that before I pop in the shower, and then I'm hitting the hay, and I'm waking up early tomorrow, and I want to continue with that mindful progress. So yeah, I need to ride on my dry erase board to have some mindful progress, and push forward. I don't really know why I buckled myself in. I'm not going anywhere, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. This was a really fun one to make. I'm hoping that with this new plan, I'll be making some good, more intentional content. I'll be making some better stuff for you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later. Bye-bye.